Welcome back to Beat the Bookie, the weekly show we bring you on the upper tier as part of the Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube. Head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. Audio versions of the show are available through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Podbeam, wherever you pick up audio version show, you will find us there. This is the weekly show where we try and help win a few quid for our viewers. As always, we recommend to gamble responsibly. The golden rule for me, anytime I'm having a bet, is never put on money that you can't afford to lose. On this weekly show, of course, our sponsor, Hogan Elite Trophy Hire. Head over to Facebook. Mark, our resident referee, runs a little business over there where he hires out some beautiful silverware from the Premier League trophy to the Champions League to the Sam Maguire. So if you've got that special occasion and you want to add that little flair to it, head over to Hogan Elite Trophy Hire and Mark will help you out there with a little bit of a discount for our viewers and subscribers. Great guy, always support local business. Anyway, let's get into this week's show. When we look back on last week, there was a couple of close calls. I know Darren got really close to landing a 450 acca for us on it, but he was unlucky. I think United let him down. But the one that came through across was again our referee Mark, who hit a beautiful 10-1 treble. You'll see it there on the screen. Greenwood, Jota, and Mope, any time to score. Three very, very good goals. Came in at 10-1. So we hope you got a few quid off that. Moving into this week's show, we've had a number of viewers and a number of listeners have sent us in some interesting bets with some really, really good odds. Um, God, where do we begin? Let's start with Robert, one of our viewers. He sent in Man City -2, Leicester -1, Aston Villa -1, 33-1. Tasty little treble there, and not too far fetched. I'm going with a 4-1 shot. Liverpool to win and both teams to score. Big call for me. I have to go for my home team, of course, against Chelsea. The big game Saturday evening, not to be missed. Jason, another viewer of ours. Mo Salah and Mikel Antonio, both to score. Tasty little bet there. Didn't send me in the odds, but no doubt the odds on it are pretty good. Dean, of course, my partner on the transfer show and on the Shankly Sessions, sent his picks in. Some really good ones here now. Liverpool and Chelsea, both teams to score. Salah first goal scorer, 3-2 score, and Jota anytime, 225-1. Has to be worth €2, doesn't it? Just to have the interest. In the same game, he sent us in another one, 238-1, just replacing Jota with Firmino. So he's going on in. We all know from viewing the shows, Firmino is his boy. So that should be an interesting one. Connor, another listener from down in Cork, sent us in. This is a long shot now, but could happen. Arsenal to win and both teams to score, 16-1. I presume he sent that in after the West Brom game. He wouldn't have sent it in after the Chelsea game, no doubt. But good luck with that, Connor. That's an interesting one. Patrick, who sent us in another one. Patrick's down in Limerick. Over 2.5 goals for all Saturday's Premier League games, 28-1. Not a bad bet at all. I really do like those over and under goal bets. They're really tasty. You're always relying on one or two. Tony sent us in a Sunday treble. Tottenham, Leeds, and Man United all to win 6-1. Decent bet. Obviously, one or two there that could be a little bit iffy. I think the Leeds one would be one that I'd be concerned about. Probably a draw down at Turf Moor, but you'd expect them to get back to winning ways. But yeah, 6-1, good value for that treble on the Sunday. Greg from Retrotainment, of course, and from Retrotainment Recast, his partner over there on those two shows on the network, sent us in Man City, West Ham, Leicester, Tottenham, and United. Safe enough accumulator, 9-1, but good value for money there. He reckons it's a banker for the weekend. Doesn't see any trouble for any of these teams. Mark also sent us in. Mark, who landed your 10-1 treble last week, sent us in. Antonio off West Ham, Vardy and Ings, anytime scorers, 11-1. Again, a nice little bet. If it's goal scorers and you want to have a bet, definitely follow Mark. He landed that 10-1 treble there last week, Just to refresh you on the fixtures, of course, coming up this Saturday, 12:30, Man City versus Arsenal, huge game for Arteta. Aston Villa versus Brentford, Brighton versus Everton, Newcastle versus Southampton, Norwich versus Leicester, West Ham versus Crystal Palace, and of course the huge game at 5:30, a little early title sort of rival game there, Liverpool versus Chelsea up at Anfield, sure to be a barn burner. Then Sunday, the 2 o'clocks are Burnley versus Leeds, Spurs versus Watford, and then a 4:30 ending out the first period of the Premier League as we head into an international break. A god awful international break that I hate when that happens. Wolves versus Man United. So Man United looking to get back on track after a poor draw against Southampton, against a Wolves team that are, I would say, this season probably going to struggle. We also got a couple of bets in from Ted. I'm going to have to get them up here on the phone. Ted sent in a couple of bet builders. So for the Liverpool Chelsea game, he has a draw, both teams to score, Lukaku to score any time, and Jota to score any time. A fiver returns 115. Not a bad bet at all from Ted looking at the Liverpool Chelsea game. And he also sent in one for the United game. Mason Greenwood to score any time, United to win, and United to win the second half as well. And a tenner returns 50. That's a 5-1 shot. Not a bad two bet builders there from Ted, again from Retrotainment and Retrotainment Recast on the network. So as always, we try and help you out winning a few bob here. Follow us here. This bet the bookie. Of course, you know it's Friday, so everyone's going to be excited. You're finishing up a tough week. You're having a few beers. You're sitting back and you're thinking, probably put a few bets on for the weekend and have a bit of crack. As always, we do this as a bit of entertainment. It's not to be taken serious. It's to have a bit of fun and see how we do. And we will be back with you again next week. As always, Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube. And if you're looking to contact the show, you'll get us on Twitter at the_upper_tier. You'll get us on Facebook, the upper tier. And you'll also get us on Instagram, the other tier. So if you want to hit us up, of course, you can drop your comments in here. Let us know what your picks are for this coming weekend. Surely the Liverpool-Chelsea game is going to be a barn burner and probably going to be one that might potentially ruin a number of bets. So as always, till next week, we will talk to you again real soon.